who oversees the entire school. Mrs. Patterson, who is conducting our, just facilitating us through tonight, is the director of curriculum, and she also supervises and oversees our 4th through 8th grade students and teachers. I am Mrs. Washington, if you have not met me, and I am the director of the elementary students, and that is our teachers for K-3 through 3rd grade. So real quickly, we are going to go through just some housekeeping while we're on the Zoom meeting. Please remain muted. Any questions that you have, you can type it in the chat feature by just hovering over the bottom of your screen and then type on the chat and then any questions so that we can just populate those questions and answer them at the end. Also, the meeting is being recorded. Just keep in mind that if you know of anyone who was not able to step into our meeting tonight, they can retrieve that there. If you want to just go back through and backtrack through the meeting, you can get that information from off of our website. Okay, so just so you know, the West Side Warriors, our mission is to spiritually, academically, physically, socially cultivate the God-given talents of our students while modeling the love of Jesus Christ. And our vision is to become a replica model for providing affordable, high quality, urban Christian education in a loving and Christ-centered environment. Our mission and vision is before our students every day during the school year, and they learn this, and it is the heart of who we are. So you'll see this mission and vision on information that may circulate or in the school, because this is what we live by in the school. We also have our theme this year, which we have a different theme every year, and it is found from Matthew 5, verses 13 through 16. And it is a community of shining light. The word of God tells us that you can't hide a light under a bushel, but it has to be set on a hill. And that's what our theme is this year, a community of shining light. All right, so we're going to quickly kind of go through, and if things are going too fast, again, type in a question or jot down or give me a hand wave and I'll slow down if there's something you missed. But we're going to go through our health and safety updates. And we're kind of opening up our building this year. We've been in a COVID situation where everything was just tight-knit, where we had to social distance 6 feet. And some of the things that we did in the past, we are holding to. But this is our updates. All adults and students must wear their mask over their nose and under their chin while in the building, of course, except while eating and drinking. But we want to keep everyone safe. And we want to social distance where possible. What is feasible for social distancing. We don't want people up on each other and each other's faces, but we want to keep that distance between each of us. Also, if you find that you need to meet with an administrator or a teacher, we are asking that you contact the main office or the teacher to set up an appointment. We're trying to limit the amount of visitors in the building, and so that we know who's in the building and when, please call to make an appointment first. We also ask that if your child is ill in the morning, there's a slight fever or fever, they're coughing, they have drainage from their nose that is a different color than clear. We understand allergies, but sometimes our children are sick. We ask that you please refrain from bringing them to school. If they exhibit any symptoms of cold or flu, COVID, etc., you'll have to pick them up promptly if they're brought to the school. So I just want to say this, I don't want anyone to feel offended if any one of the teachers or the administration ask you to come and get your child. We're not saying your child has COVID. What we're saying is your baby is not feeling well, and we want to make sure that everyone is safe in our environment and that your child can rest properly and heal properly for whatever's going on. So please be mindful of that. Also, if a student tests positive for COVID, they can return to school after 5 days and with a 24-hour no symptom diagnosis. So if they have not had any symptoms within 24 hours after the 5 days, then they are welcome to return back. And that's on a positive test.
Thank you very much. Mrs. Washington, I'm thinking too that maybe we can pause after each section, maybe and filter some questions. So I got my eye on the chat. I didn't see anything. But guys, you can more than welcome. Please use the chat if you have questions. And as we go from agenda item, we can, take a brief pause and address any questions that people may have concerning that topic. Okay. All right, I don't see anything. If you guys can help me kind of look and see anything, okay. All right. So some academic information. So this year, like we typically do, we are using Michigan State standards as a baseline driving force for all ELA math, science, and social studies instruction. What that means is at any given moment, what our teachers are teaching directly aligns with the standards that the state of Michigan has put in place. Now, we are using that as a baseline, not necessarily as a ceiling, as we always encourage a deeper depth of knowledge for students, those that are accelerating and they're beyond just a base level understanding, but now they can get into some analysis, some creation of topics, or even go beyond their grade level. We're definitely going to encourage that and keep them moving forward. But as far as what our children are required to know, how they're being tested in the classroom, what the teachers are looking for will directly align with our state standards. We do have STAR assessments. I wanted to give a little bit more background. Many of the parents that have been with us are familiar with our STAR assessments, but we use STAR assessments to monitor the progress of all of our warriors. And it's a way really to help keep us accountable. We're going to talk about that a little bit more throughout tonight's session, but to keep us on our toes, to keep us accountable. When I think of using these instruments, sometimes private education, although we are not required to do anything, I don't want to hide behind that. We don't want to hide behind that. And so the same accountability in some regards as it relates to what our children are being assessed on, what they're expected to know, we're falling in line with that. And so we have these things called STAR assessments. They are computer tests, and we get it. Some students are not, great test takers. It's just another point of data. As much as I am a data person, I do understand that there are outliers, there are conditions that happen and arise with these tests. And so for STAR assessments, we want to make sure our children are trending upwards with what they know, upwards with their mastery of information. Some ways that you can help prepare your children for a STAR test, make sure that they get a good night's rest. You can even speak to them like, baby, tomorrow you're going to take a test. Mommy just wants you to do your best. That's the only thing that we press. Is to do their best, be alert throughout the test. If they need to pause for whatever reason, they can even express that, and we can pause it for that moment and come back to it. And so making sure they get a good night's rest. Maybe if they have a favorite breakfast in the morning, that might help. And you can find all of our STAR assessment windows on our website, which we'll talk about as well. This year, we are endeavoring to take the M-STEP and the PSAT 8. And the reason behind that is truly, again, for accountability on our part. We need to make sure when our children leave, right, when they leave Westside Christian, that they are adequately prepared for we want our kids to be adequately prepared academically for any school that they may go to, from the neighborhood school to Cass, to Renaissance, to Jalen Rose to UD Jesuit. We want our kids to know that they are well prepared, and we've got to make sure that they're well prepared. And one of the ways that we can do that is by testing. Again, I understand we're treating it as just another tool to sharpen ourselves, to look at our curriculum model, to even as we go into curriculum review, which we'll be doing, that we have as many different vantage points to look at the product that we're putting forth with our children as possible. And so I put stars next to it because it's our first time. I'll keep you guys well informed as I'm learning of things, as I'm learning. We don't necessarily deal with the state in this way. So this is new for me, and as I learn information, I'll be sure to pass it down. But again, we want to make sure that our children are on track to be college and career ready when they leave our doors. Okay. Some other changes with our academic information. We do offer free Title I services to our families. In times past, we've had pull-out, which means that we would have a teacher come, take the children out of the classroom, work with them for a set amount of time and bring them back. But this year, I'm very excited. I'm very prayerful as well. That we've chosen to do a push-in support. So now this requires the teacher and the support person to work together to make sure that gaps that are identified by the teacher, as well as data that we have, are filled in a collaborative way. And so we have more say as to what actually gets worked on. They're given strategies for inside the classroom. So when the children, and it's not going to isolate them or make it seem like the children are got a special teacher or whatever. The teacher is still going to rotate, but they're going to always land back with the students that need the most support in learning centers and in fun discrete ways of learning. So I'm super excited about that. Yeah, I'm super excited about that. And that right now is only for Detroit residents, but I also would like to say that we have veteran teachers that come, and we have a great volunteer base that comes in and help all of our students. And so even though this is for Detroit students, if you live outside of Detroit, we'll more than likely have some support ways for you as well. If you live in South Redford, we'll be having free after school support as well. Last year we did kind of a trial run towards the end of the year as I was getting acclimated to different grants and paperwork and things that I had to do to make sure our students were properly serviced. And so I'm excited that this year we can hit the ground running. So when you get those forms coming home, or even if you desire for your child to have academic support, please, please, please reach out to us. We're mainstreaming everything through the main office, and then Miss Michelle will give us the information as we need it, and we'll follow up accordingly. Some other things I wanted to mention is if any of our families have IEPs, that they must be converted, because we're a private school, to non-public service plans. And what that provides is still social work support, speech support, different things, OT, occupational therapy support, as well as it lets us know in the classroom what accommodations and modifications your child needs, okay? And or you would like to see happen. And so we work with you, with our non-public service plan team, to make sure that we're walking in alignment to honestly give your child the best education and the best opportunity possible. And then finally, now this is something, 504 plans. These are plans that honestly, parents, you can initiate it. Your baby's best, okay? Things that they like to do, things that they gravitate to, the settings that they need to be successful. And although we have small class sizes, there may be times, where you notice your baby gets anxious about test taking, or, they need a space separate, to do different things. You can come to us and say, hey, I want to know more about a 504 plan. And what that does is it allows us to work directly with the parent to formulate some hardcore accommodations that we say, you know, hey, we're going to follow this, we're going to try this, we're going to let you know how this works with integrity and fidelity to make sure that your babies are set for success. Okay. And so the main thing this year, you know, we don't want to go into the year with you thinking there's a disconnect between, you know, how we want to best serve your child and essentially you. Okay. And so if there's anything that you need regarding these things, please contact Miss Michelle in the office. You can email her. We'll have yep, we'll have her email up, and you can feel free to CC any of the administrative staff just to make sure that that you're getting the best services. There's a question. Ooh, I got some good questions. So the first STAR test is on the calendar. I feel like it's September 13th, but I'll make sure we get that for you. I know it's on the calendar. I don't have the calendar in front of me. And then 504 plans, follow the child should they leave WCA. I will look into that. Mrs. Washington, are you 504 plans? Do they have to be followed, or can they be, you know?
Because it's a collaborative effort, like you said, with the parent, the school, and the child, it does follow them as a part of their file, but it is not a legal document that, like the IEP or the non-service plan.
Good.
But
Thank
it's a
you.
part of their file.
Yeah, is a part of their file. And so I've had, when kids have transferred in, I know I've experienced this where the parent has come to me as a teacher and said, hey, you know, this is what was good for my child at so-and-so school. I would like us to start off with that, right? And you know, it's up to that school to adhere to it, really. Okay, excellent questions. Thank you. Oh, I've lost track. Okay, here we go. Sorry. All right, so the Warrior Way. And so we are all about, really, Westside is all about community. And so our commitment to you guys, we are going to communicate as best as possible as things arise via email. Thank you, Miss Michelle. Via email, via remind, via waving you down at your car. We bank on collaboration and rapport with our families. Okay, so we are going to communicate as best as we possibly can, and we're always growing in communication. We are restorative by nature, and what we mean is, and I know even at my level, I'm learning how to temper this, but our children actually have a voice, and so we are constantly teaching them how to deal with conflict, not only among their peers, but even with their teachers. I mean, man, and at the middle school level, you guys can probably imagine how that works. But I've had to apologize, you know, to students. I've had to apologize to parents. Like, you know, no one is above like an apology, no matter how old or young they are. And it's all to bring us back together. So even in our behavior consequences, different things like that, we give chance, you know, after chance, communicate, see if we can get it correct, then come, you know, another chance to see if we can get it correct before, you know, a suspension or even detention. You know, we have all these layers to try to restore before we have to issue a severe consequence. And then accountability. Okay, just as I spoke earlier, we are, you know, we're holding our leadership team accountable. We're holding our teachers accountable to the best educational product and living modeling Jesus Christ in what we do, how we speak, you know, in every way. And I mean, and I've messed up sometimes and had to apologize and different things like that. But we really hold ourselves accountable to God first and foremost, and then to you guys to do right by your children. Okay. And so we request that you communicate with us. I mean, from anything from, you know, your child being ill to having tuition issues. Like, if you communicate, that's, you know, that's the very basis. When the cell phone number changes or an address changes, or, you know, something happens, a death in the family, it would help us to best understand kind of what's going on with that child, so that we can adequately make make accommodations, make changes for what your child needs at that time. Collaboration, please work with us when we're going to go over the calendar a little bit, but we have parent teacher conferences. Please come out, speak with us, wave us down. You know, when you're driving off, you can pull over and speak with us. If there's an issue, if it's something that your child went home and said, please, you know, let us know and work with us so that we can explain it, fix it, and make sure they have a great year. And then accountability. We've talked about accountability enough, but we just, you know, as we're giving unto you, we ask that you can please reciprocate that so that we can do the best by your children. Okay. And so here are some general expectations of our warriors and our staff. I have to really put our staff as well to glorify God in attitude and actions towards themselves and others. And so we're working on our teachers to make sure that that their energy is positive. I know sometimes in middle school, especially, you know, kids can tell the discernment of a child is on point. I think it's a special gift for children. And so we're not going to act like it's not. And so, you know, when we start our day with prayer, we start our day, you know, calm, making sure, you know, that we level set before we even enter the classroom and engage with our children. We do that, you know, and so we're checking our tone, we're checking our actions, we're checking these things so that we glorify God in all that we do. And then also our appearance, you know, our staff, you know, clean, appropriately dressed, all those things. And so of course we expect that from our warriors as well. And so Mrs. Washington will go into detail a little bit more about that.
Okay, the uniform. So our uniforms are red, black, and white polo. Those are polo style shirts. That means there's no horse or polo players on the emblems on the shirt, nor alligators or any other kind of logo or emblem. It's a plain polo, black, white, or red shirt. We also allow students to wear the button-down white shirts. Those are acceptable as well. Pants are black or brown belt, with black or khaki bottoms. So what that means, there's no cargo shorts, cargos, joggers, leggings, or jeggings. That means tight-fitting bottoms. We want our students to look like they're somebody, like they're going somewhere. So wearing a slack is the best way to put it. We're here to learn. So we want to present them and get them ready for the workplace and beyond school. So there's no jeans, hipsters, or lowriders. So we want to make sure that students are appropriately dressed. When they come to school, their mind is on learning. They look good. They look crisp. That's what we're looking for with our uniforms. So just try not to do the cargo pants. We see a lot. We have seen some of those, and we don't want to have to make a phone call. Okay. Also with our uniform, we want to make sure that our sweaters are solid black, white, or red. It can be a pullover or fleece jacket. Also, if you were able to purchase some of our gently used or new items, that is still on the table and it will be there for that through that first week of school. Those items sometimes have the emblem, the WCA embroidered fleeces, jackets, or shirts. Those are appropriate, of course. No hoodies of any kind. So we want to make sure that if you're wearing appropriate fleece jackets, etc., you can wear the WCA. That's okay. But make sure that your sweaters and pullovers and your fleece jackets are solid black, white, or red, which are our warrior colors. The tights, footwear, socks, white or black or red. We can continue in that. Most of the students wear black tights, black or white tights, and black socks. The black shoes, are, they're Black with a minimum amount of color. Mrs. Patterson has put an example up of what is appropriate, what is not in uniform. 51% of the shoe must be Black. Make sure that, because it becomes distracting, and then we don't want the shoe, you know, you to purchase these expensive shoes and it's all these colors. We want to keep everybody learning. So, yep, very good examples of what is appropriate and acceptable and what is not.
Thanks. The 51% is a running joke. Mrs. Washington, I just had a thing pop up in chat. Also, in the cooler months, students can wear a long sleeve shirt underneath their polo as long as it's red, black, and white. Mr. Wells, he could have come off mute and said that, but opted not to. So.
Turtleneck as well. Turtlenecks, as long as they're solid, black, white, or red.
Oh, I had another question. Oh, and guys, don't worry. The handbook, I'll show you, you know, how to access the handbook as well that has these things written out, because that's where this came from. Ms. Washington, you mentioned the white, like Oxford shirt button down.
Yeah.
Can it be red or black as well?
I think we've had that in the past. We just want them to, and I actually like the button down better. It looks better. So
okay.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Back to the show.
Right. So here's the good thing. We have some dress down opportunities. We know that our students, especially the middle school, they like to sport who they are. They want to come geared in what makes them feel good. Well, we have the dress down opportunities. Those of you all who are new to Westside, we have dress down Fridays. And just like you go to the movies to see the show, you can't get in for free. There is a fee. So to dress down on Fridays, which begin September 9th and not before, it is $1 entrance. If you don't have your $1, then your parent must bring your uniform. It is not mandatory, it's an option. So if you do not opt to dress down and pay the $1, the children must be in uniform. And I just want to reiterate on those dress down Fridays, that does not mean anything goes. We don't want to wear crop tops or inappropriate items that students are wearing. We still want them to look good, but appropriately dressed. So that's our dress down Friday. That's one dress down opportunity. Other dress down opportunity is the birthday dress down, which is free. So it's the third Thursday of every month. So for instance, September. If my birthday is in September, then I could dress down for free on the third Thursday in September. That doesn't mean it's birthday dress down for everybody. The people whose birthday are in the allotted months, and we do cover summer months. So September may cover August and September, but that information will go out. So please make sure that we're not just saying it's dress down and send our kid dress down thinking that it's free. It's not. It's a special day for us to acknowledge our baby on the third Thursday of every month. Another incentive is the parent participation. And you can participate at Westside through PAC, which is our Parent Activity Council, our PTC, Parent Teacher Conference, or our family nights, things of that nature. When you attend those events, your child earns a free dress down. And we will tell you the days that they are. Usually it's the day after the event or the Monday following. So we'll let you know when those days are, but those are opportunities for free dress down. And guess what? Tonight starts the kickoff. If you have attended our town hall tonight, and we know who you are because you signed in, your child has earned a free dress down September 2nd. Now, mind you, dress down Fridays begin September 9th. Your child will receive a free dress down on September 2nd. I know, Lee, that's right. Woohoo! Right, baby boy gets to dress down. So here's another thing to earn a free dress down. We are always looking for opportunities to highlight students who get caught doing the right thing, who get caught doing the good character thing. I've seen some wonderful things happening with upperclassmen, with lower classmen, where they see a child crying and they go over and comfort them, or just the teacher notices that a child is caring for another child that may seem down or ask for prayer. Those are some things, some positive reinforcement they give. Those can earn you a free dress down, students. So these are some great opportunities. There's quite a bit of opportunities for students to express who they are.
Sweet, thank you.
Good job, Dylan.
Oh, right, Dylan. And so there will be an exit survey, because honestly, some people, even I know Ms. Washington, we know who some of them are, but some of the names, like Zoom user, I'm having a hard time. So, please, just make sure we know, so we can give your baby their dress down ticket. And I have an exit survey after this. Excellent, Mrs. Washington. Oh, the question came up. Oh my goodness, what happens with the dress down dollars? Excellent question. Excellent question. Yeah. And so I don't know if you guys have checked out our YouTube channel, but we have different activities that just that talk about who Westside is. And so one of them, our 7 days of Christmas event, where the classes, we have door decoration, gingerbread house contest, and so the winners, they win pizza parties, they win little prizes, and it helps fund those types of events. That's a big one. And then also our end of the year events, our promotion ceremonies and graduations. We try to keep the cost low, for families, so all families can participate. And so the dress down dollars go towards that. If we have the store, any little fundraising things that we do, it really just goes back to the students, and prizes here, Bible Bowl prizes, spiritual life week engagement, trinkets and activities and different things like that. So that helps offset the costs for those events. And then a parent mentioned field trips. We have not explicitly planned out any field trips, but like Mrs. Washington said, we are opening back up a little bit, normal. And so they're on the table, as long as, we can get the proper busing and things like that, so the students can be safe as they travel. Excellent. Another question. Oh, someone asked about aftercare, before and aftercare. As of now, Mrs. Washington, correct me if I'm wrong, that is not solidified right now. No, I know we've been bringing it up, but
yeah, we're currently looking for a good provider that is a fit at Westside. And so, yeah, we don't have it right now.
Okay, and then one more, how can we help bring healthier lunches to school? Man, I would, we're gonna have to write that down. Currently our provider, we're gonna have to just write it down and bring it up, right? But that's something on the table. Oh, I encourage you to come out to PAC, or at least email, your PAC leadership once that is established, to yeah, let's brainstorm and collaborate through that. It's excellent.
Yeah, that is.
All right, so I wanted to talk briefly about our arrival and departures. This year, we're not doing any staggered arrivals or departures this year. Our school year is almost back to where we had it before COVID, from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m., 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. departure. And so our K-3 students, through third grade students, they enter on the door that's closest to the field, all the way down. I'm pointing like this is Westside right now, but anyway, all the way down closest to the field. That's our elementary door. Grades 4 through 8 enter through the main entrance. Students, the earliest students can enter the building is 7:55 a.m. And students arriving after 8:15 are late and must enter through the main entrance, regardless of ages. So at 8:15, that door locks, the elementary door locks for security purposes, and all students can come through the main entrance, where they can buzz. There's a little box there with the doorbell, they can buzz in, and normally Miss Michelle, Mr. Wells, or myself is there to greet them as they're coming in, but they have to stop in the main office to get a tardy slip, okay, prior to going to class. And so We really want our students to be on time as much as possible. If you're, I mean, I've had parents send me a message on Remind via email, hey, there was a train, there was this, there is that. That's perfectly fine. Again, please communicate, let us know what's going on, so that we can excuse your child's tardy. But after 8:15, they will, they will get a tardy slip. Okay. And so attendance in general plays such an important role in your child's success. We
Mhm.
want to see them, we want them feeling well, we want them, being on time. It's amazing. Even the countenance that we see sometimes when kids are coming in late, they kind of already come down with their head
Mhm.
down, repetitive. And so we do what we can. We say, hey, good morning, glad you're here. I've had some kids come, I don't even want to tell you how late I've had them come, but I say, you know what, you made it here, shake it off, let's rock and roll, you're here. And so it's about education now that you're here, okay? And so um as many days as they can, please, 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 please make sure your child is here. Some excuse absences, if you let us know about a vacation that you have already planned, or they're not feeling well, doctor's appointments, bereavement, we get that totally. You can feel free to alert the main office through email or blackball messaging, which I'll talk about a little bit later. Or early pickups. Now, some of my parents that's been with me, if you send me a text message, number one, the reception in the building is pretty trash. Okay, we just put that out there. Number two, I'm not looking at my phone sometimes, and so I'll miss it. I'll miss it, guys. So if you can please start funneling those things via email to Miss Michelle. I mean, you can CC me, CC Mr. Wells. You can do your backup thing, but please don't text me all the time, because sometimes I miss it, and I feel so bad when I look down at my phone and I'm like, oh my God, they were trying to get their child. And so that brings me to communications. We have a listserv via email, which I hope many of you guys got. I'm going to ask you about that on the survey. You can be a part of our Remind, our general school Remind, and we'll make sure that you get plugged into your classes accordingly when those open up. I encourage you to go through our website. I'm going to send you that link. Our Current Families website I'm making it, where it's a one-stop shop. You have links as far as how to get into Blackball, different things there. And have you been invited to join Blackball? And so one thing on the survey, I'm going to get your feedback concerning Blackball, because I'm considering doing a parent training. And some of you might be saying, what is Blackball? Blackball is our student information system that houses information on our students as far as their where they live, phone number, current phone numbers, authorized pickup people, emergency information, allergy information, as well as their grades. And so it would really, really, really help us if that information in Blackball would stay, as up to date as possible. I'll be putting some resource boards out there as far as, things you can read as it relates to maybe test taking strategies or different things as it pertains to working with us to make sure your child has an amazing time here at Westside. And so it'll be very crucial if we can use that as much as possible to stay up to date. A parent asks, was there a specific reason why school is starting before Labor Day this year? Traditionally, ma'am, we've always started before Labor Day. And the reason is primarily to try to minimize summer slide as much as possible. And get our warriors back accustomed into re-engage into the learning environment. And to help us out in June. Sometime it gets very, 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 very hot, and our building is not AC controlled throughout the entire building. And so we try to catch it at the right time for us. Mr. Wells, you want to add to that? Anybody? Mrs. Washington? Nope. Okay, cool. All right. Okay. I clicked the link and not the continuation button. Sorry, guys. Okay. All right. So you.
Yeah. Excited about this slide. Why? Because it is packed. Parent Activity Council. I am so excited about re-engaging the parents at Westside Christian Academy. We had a sit, chat, and chew last week, I think it was, a couple weeks ago. And I want to thank those parents who came out. It was a wonderful time getting to know what PAC is. PAC is the parents. It is you. This is your organization that is in support the Westside community. PAC is all Westside parents. It is an initiative by the parents that supports the school environment. So how well things are going, what you can do to help in that environment, what support can you give not only to the classrooms, but the school as a whole. I know back in the day, they used to do like a beautifying project where every spring the parents would come out and clean up the school grounds and plant flowers and things of that nature. So the parent PAC, the Parent Activity Council, is really just that. It's a council that works in conjunction with administration, and it works to support the community as a whole and of Westside. And so we will be meeting every second Tuesday of every month at 6 p.m. And that time was decided upon by the parents who came to the Sit, Chat, and Chew. You don't have to sign up for PAC. All you need to do is just come out. Again, it is second Tuesday of every month. And Ms. Patterson alerted me earlier that in November, it is a vote time. So the second Tuesday in November is actually election day. We will not hold PAC on that day, but there will be a PAC meeting that month. So we will let you know whether we do it the 3rd, which we probably won't do the 3rd because that's Thanksgiving weekend, but maybe the following day, Wednesday. But that information will go out. So always check your we'll always have handouts. We really want all of the parents to come out and meet one another, build friendship, build community, talk about how can you all make Westside better than what it is, as your children are the center for all of this. The meetings are on site at Westside in the auditorium. So yeah, I'm very excited about the rest of all of the parents coming out. Okay, so now we have come to tuition.
Now Miss Michelle is on. And so,
cool.
We can roll out the red carpet for you, Miss Michelle, if you want to jump on.
Yes, good. Go right ahead.
Okay, I'll talk. Hold on one second. Okay, I'm gonna read the slide and then I'm gonna add a couple things. So tuition information, we really don't want cash this year, really trying to get out of getting cash. So online payments are preferred. You can go on our website and click the link to make the payment, or you can come inside to me. I will also take card payments inside. And then if you have to make cash, just let me know. Everything is due on the 1st of every month, every tuition and late by the 10th. And by the 11th, you will get a late fee of $25. And then tuition suspensions are a final option. And just communicate with me or Mr. Wells and let us know what's going on. We are very understanding and we know that different situations happen. So just let us know if there's ever anything going on where you need a little bit more time, and we can see what we can work out for you. And then I have a few things that I've been emailing, but I don't know if everyone's got it. So I'm just gonna reiterate that. So everyone who has signed up for tuition assistance, we do need a new application, whether you are old or a new student. And we need your first page of the 1040 tax document form. Just to reapply, we try to just, refresh it every year. Even if we do plan to keep some tuition the same, we do like to look over your income just to make sure, everything is the same so that we can, keep that updated. And I think that's about it. Oh, and make sure you turn in your re-enrollment application. I have a couple of students who are coming back to school, but I have not received a re-enrollment application for you. So make sure that's turned in. And then any students that are coming back that has paid like 50% or 25% of their enrollment fee because they did the payment plan, just make sure that your enrollment fee is paid in full before school starts. Yep, that's about it.
Thank
If you
you.
have any questions, you can chat. I'm looking in the chat, or you can email me. My email was posted, or remind me. I'm always available.
Thank you, Miss Michelle. And I just want to reiterate too that you know, we are we have audits, right? And so we have to make sure that information is appropriate, you know, and up to date. Again, fidelity, accountability, all of that, right? And so when there's however your tuition payment is calculated, we have to have proof of that, you know, and it goes to the board and to the external auditing company and all of those things. Okay, guys, thank you. Thank you so much for your compliance. Ooh, shout out to Miss Michelle. All right, guys, we're almost there. Okay. And so calendar upcoming events. Okay. So I want everyone to stay in the loop as much as possible. I'm going to be sending out this survey. Actually, I'm going to drop it in the chat right now to make sure you're on our email list, you're on our remind. You can always go to the news and events tab on our website. I encourage you to subscribe to our Google Calendar, and you can do that. I'll actually walk you through. Actually, I'll just click it right now. And so now make sure you have these links. On our news and events page, you'll see our Google Calendar, and then you can click that button there, and it'll, you know, ask you to download. Would you like to subscribe? You can do whatever you need to in regards to that. If you want it on your synced with your phone or your computer application, wherever your calendar is, so you can get those direct dates and everything like that. Stay in the loop with us. We also have a blackball calendar that aligns directly with this one as well, and so that you're always up to date. You can even download our calendar here if you want to see kind of like the general days off, asynchronous learning days, which I'm going to speak about in a moment. Those types of things when the students are off, when Christmas break is, those types of things. All of these resources here at the bottom of our website, the admission, tuition and fees, your grades, that's going to take you directly to Blackball. The calendar is going to take you to the calendar. Student handbook, that's where you want to go. I just wanted to confirm by Monday, we will have the 2022-2023 school year there. We just wanted to change, you know, make sure we loosened up a little bit with our protocols, make sure, you know, we got some of that COVID language out of the handbook, direct titles and different things like that. So we are freshening up our handbook, but that's where it can be found. I try to do a good job of keeping these types of things up to date as much as I can. Okay, guys. So please work with us there. On our side here, I have look out for asynchronous learning days. And so last year when we had parent teacher conference, we really didn't have anything to engage our students academically. And so this year we are making it an asynchronous learning day, so that means asynchronous means that they're learning not as a collective group, but on their own time. So it might be, you know, they have to read a few pages of a book and write a character map or a plot analysis. They might have to do some work off the computer with it, or they maybe have to do Excel practice, read an article and have a discussion board about it, something that they can do on their own time to still stay engaged in the learning process. Okay, and so those dates are listed. I'm going to take you guys directly here to the website. They're listed in yellow. Okay, so that's what the asynchronous learning day means. Okay, our first one is our parent teacher conference, and then we have our typical PD for our staff. That will be an asynchronous learning day for the students. Okay, and then we have another parent teacher conference. And so instead of them being completely no school, we are asking that they engage in some way, finishing homework in some way during that. Oh, that's an excellent question. there. All right, so just wanted to put that out there for you. How can you email me? Okay, there's some activity in the chat there. Then I got some questions. So, first question is, how is or will LGBTQAI plus matters be addressed? Although we have never known to have to address those things, first we're going to go with the word of God, first and foremost. And depending on the severity, if we need to have a family meeting, we will. And that's just honestly how we attack all issues. And so we're gonna write that down. Well, these messages are being recorded as well to specifically shine a light concerning that topic. In this day and age, it stands that we need to be ready to have a sure answer. So that's an excellent question. But we do handle our typical matters biblically first, and prayerfully go from there. If we need family meetings, we have definitely had restorative circles with families. And we try to, handle it as best we can through prayer, wisdom, and with families as necessary. What I put in
Sarah, I would just add that we espouse biblical values unashamedly. That is conveyed not only in our public narrative, but in all the language of our documents, as well as how we interface with the community. We do not discriminate on students coming to the school, but the students and the parents would have to understand that we will not make any adjustments in our biblical values. And we've had those instances where we've had to sit down with families and talk through those realities, and decisions had to be made, not related to affirming their human dignity, but related more to the values we espouse as a Christian school.
Excellent. And that was Mr. Wells, everyone. Dr. Wells, Dr. Henry Wells, our executive director. And he's a pastor. Shout out to him. So guys, I'm throwing some links in the chat. Current family website link is there. Join our Remind link is there. And please, 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 the survey is there. Especially because some guys, I'm so sorry, I don't know your names and not necessarily seeing the faces. I want to make sure that your babies get their free dress pass for September 2nd. So sorry. Oh, hey, Miss Riley, she's said, has the 5th grade been determined? If you're referring to a teacher, I have an awesome teacher. Her name is Sarah, like me, Miss Sarah Tate McClendon will be our 5th grade teacher, and I'm super pumped to have her on campus with us. She's super pumped to be here as well. All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us. Ooh, we made it just under 7. Please fill out that survey. We're going to look at those questions, make sure we get responses, and we have to make sure your babies get their proper credit. Okay.
Thanks everyone for coming.
All right. All minds clear. No, it's all good. We're going to just log off. You guys, blessings to you all. Take care.
Good job, Ward.